look, unlike Kinks and Cantrips, where the majority of the book was the subclasses, the majority of OboJima is the setting. And speaking of, I want to actually talk about the subclasses now, because there's only one per class, and they're all really good. And then it also we need to kind of talk about it, because it's going to build up on what the world can do, and we can then go into more deeper meaning as we can see some of the stuff that happens. So the first thing I want to actually talk about is the new races you can be in the game. And the first one I want to talk about are the Dara. The Dara are essentially the demons from Dragon Ball Daima. Now, strategically, they have the same things that some unique player classes have. These ones have increased ability scores. They're usually anywhere between 2 and 7 feet tall, and they weigh up to 300 pounds. But they're fast as hell, because they can still maintain like 25 feet if they're small, 30 if they're medium, all that stuff. And what I love about it is the Dara is born from the earth, emerging into OboJima fully formed through the root of a tree, and bears a parenting glyph. Most are born from trees in the sacred grove in Roa Kal, which is that city we were talking about earlier, the ancestral homeland of the Dara. But it could be anywhere that a Dara has died. So when a Dara dies, it turns into a tree. When the tree grows, a new Dara comes up from it.
Okay, that is the weirdest fucking...
And Neko's going to know what this is, because here's the thing I thought was interesting. The parting glyph gives the young Dara a set of intellectual tools to function in the form of memories. The glyph offers the previous Dara's perspective about a world yet to be experienced. For many Dara, the parting glyph leads them to Roa Kal, and from there they choose their new life. Neko, I think you know what this is in terms of another setting, that in another, I would say, more futuristic setting, but you know what this is, don't you?
Let me see here. What page?
130.
9 years stream too.
Yeah,
130. Okay, 130.
Okay.
Yeah, I know exactly. That looks exactly like from Dragon Ball Z. They are.
Well, yes, that's true. But what I'm referring to is the glyphs. These guys are essentially the Dax of D&D. Like Jadzia Dax from Deep Space Nine.
Oh!
I've never heard of that.
Yes! So they passed down knowledge through parasites?
Well, kind of. They pass their knowledge through glyphs when they die. So when they die, a tree comes where they were died, and then the tree grows. When the tree is fully mature, a Dara is born from it with a glyph in the form of the glyph that shows the memories of its previous life, and then it goes to the city of Roa Kal, where it then decides what it wants to do with this life. So it passes its memories down, and as it passes it down, they are more mystical in that sense, because maybe their Dara beforehand was more corrupt, and when it died, it became a fully cleansed Dara, and it's like, well, I don't want to do that again, but it still maintains the memories. And I think that's actually...
Let's try this shit again.
Yeah, let's try. Like, okay, getting eaten by that lion was not a fun experience. Let's not do that again.
That's a respawn. Oh my god, that's the most complicated way of saying, oh, I'm just gonna respawn and not make the same mistake.
Shit, I'm dying. Oh no, Dara, is everything okay? Yeah, I'm just dying. That seems like a bad thing. Yeah, don't worry, I'll be back in 20 years. It'll be a nap. But the other thing is that these are very spiritual. They are like the Namekians almost, crossed with the demons from Dragon Ball, because they also can create talismans, and they actually can imbue those talismans with magical properties. Now, these are just paper talismans. They're not Dragon Balls. You can't grant wishes with them.
Ah, damn it.
But I like this because it gives these people like 3 different kind of like facets that kind of wouldn't work together, but they do work together. And I think that's kind of cool. Like, just and on top of that, their whole goal is they want to impart knowledge. In Dara culture, the individual who can go on to obtain wisdom, truly worth sharing, are blessed with the unique ability to impart glyphs before their death. This extraordinary skill is reserved among the Dara. So if you get to level 10, you can then be like, well, I lived my life. I'm going to have a child now. And now I will impart my glyph on this tree. There we go. And then you have a teenager who comes up, and then he basically is just like, he learns from it. I like this. I like this a lot.
Mhm.
And then there's other stuff that it can do. It gains proficiency in 3 skills of your choice, which is really nice. It ties into the memory thing, so you can pick like any 3 skills and get proficiency in it. The talismans each have, like, for example, are a little overpowered. Like the Earth Talisman, when a creature in possession of this talisman is reduced to 0 hit points but not killed, it activates, causing the creature to drop to 1 hit point instead, and it can just do this for free.
To be fair, though, and I do want to say this,
Mhm.
there are a couple things that do balance it out. One, you only get one of the talismans, so if you're going for that safety net, you can't get anything else.
Mm-hmm.
2, it only lasts for an hour or until it is activated, and once you use this trait, you can't do so again until you finish your long rest. So, you better know that you're gonna need it, and also you only get one of them per long rest.
But they're still pretty good. I like that. And then the other thing is that it looks like the blue Daras are bigger and the red Daras are smaller. And if we look here, we can actually see how a Dara came out of the ground, because this is essentially how Daras are made. The glyph on the tree, it passed its knowledge on, and then the Dara just popped out of the ground and was like, all right, guess I'm heading home.
I exist now.
Yes. And then we have stuff like the common elves, but they also have stuff like, I guess they have the curse mark, actually. I did notice that. But then we have elves, standard stuff, frog people, or the Nakudama. So these are actually, I believe, the Nakudama, which are like the frog people. And just these two kind of like are, in my opinion, a little bit more interesting, because as we all know, elves are common in D&D. They are like one of the most common classes played. Everyone plays an elf at one point.
In every fantasy like thing, you've got to have some form of elf. Like,
Right.
that is a given.
Right. And these guys basically are marked by the spirits. So what that means is that Oka marks, which are the marks like you can see right here on the arm, they have a special significance. Yeah, they have a special, and that plays in the Nakudama, actually. They hold significance for elves. They represent the profound bond with the spirit world, the potential to bestow unique supernatural powers. The elves in OboJima are more akin to the spirit world. And that's a big thing, because the spirit world actually has different types of spirits. One of them, like, for example, homebody spirits like the physical world. Ghosts don't ever come to the physical world. And the third one, I believe, is like the poltergeist. They like to shift between both the spirit and the physical world. The elves are like the only race that has that deep of a connection to the spirits, outside of maybe a few individuals specifically, but they have the deepest connection to the spirit world. And I like that about these elves. And also, this is clearly Link. This is clearly Link in an orange tunic.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But
and that's completely fine.
yeah, and the birthmark actually does give you some unique abilities. For example, you can have the Courage 1. So you have the Triforce of Courage, and you gain the Resistance cantrip. And you can get Heroism at level 3. So the Triforce of Courage.
You literally become Link. Like,
your Triforce is
Ah, yes. Let's encourage everything Link related.
Fun.
Hello.
Bun.
Bun. Yes, you jumped on in after a while. I just didn't. I just actually got an order from OboJima asking me how I preferred the book. I'll say great things about it. Anyway, by the way, I love this is another little tangent, but I do love this. The Courage, the Triforce of Courage. I always kind of thought it was the weird, odd one out, because it was like, your Triforce is the Triforce of Courage. Well, what does it do? Well, if you see a bus, it'll give you the
lets
courage.
you talk to girls.
That too, but if you see a bus, you'll get the courage to jump in front of it. That's not courage.
That's not
That's
good.
suicide.
Suicide. I didn't realize I'd have the courage to go off into the next line.
But for gameplay purposes, you actually do get a lot of good stuff with the birthmark system. Fury gives you the Sacred Flame cantrip, which is another damage ability. You also can get Shatter at level
Ooh, nice.
3, and you don't need any material components, and you can do it after a long rest. So you only get to cast Shatter once for long rest, but that's still pretty good. Harmony gives you guidance. I'm not gonna say
And calm
anything.
emotion.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at you guys right now, and like, you know exactly how much you abuse that cantrip, and calm emotions. And then nature is Neko. You know the dancing lights cantrip, and then you can have animal messenger once per long rest. So Neko.
Otherwise known as Neko's getting her owl bear.
Yes. Oh my god, I can just imagine like the Knights of the Postal Service with this, and they're like, we're not gonna make it. Timothy, deliver this message. And you see the elf uses Boca mark. My god, I will, master. And he runs at full speed. He gets the delivery and he goes, your package is delayed by 2 days. But then
Not my problem.
but then Purity gives you Spare the Dying and Lesser Restoration, which is pretty good. And then you also get, and the Selflessness gets you Resilient Friendship and Gift, which I think is kind of the weakest of it, because I don't know what Resilient Friendship is meant to do.
Me neither.
Can I just say this really quickly?
Yeah?
Mhm.
I love the Purity one because you start out with Spare the Dying, otherwise known as you're not dying, you're just taking a long fucking nap.
Not today, Jim. Not today.
And then you get Lesser Restoration, which is like curing like the poison and the blind and whatnot.
Mhm.
So imagine having that mark, and you're just walking in with the reputation of a healer, going, and this guy's going, I have so many wounds. Can you heal me? One moment. I just need to add one more to make sure you take your nice long nap.
That's terrible, but okay.
Did y'all take some water real quick?
Oh no, we should actually. I have some water right here.
I also have a whole.
Liquid Death Water. I one day want to get sponsored by them. Anyway.
I don't see a hydrate on here, so I couldn't do anything.
It's Drown the Cat Boy. It's Drown the Cat Boy.
Drown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Drowning.
So then, and let me just double check. I want to make sure there's no. I just want to make sure we're not missing. Okay, and then the last new one is the Nakudama, the frog people, and they're interesting because life is too short to spend on anything not worrying recounting. So basically, they have a very short lifespan. But the thing about the Nakudama is that they're fine with it. They're just like, listen, my life may be short. I ain't gonna fucking waste it. If I die in something cool, yeah.
So it's like a fly's lifespan.
Well, kind of. So, like, they reach adulthood by the age of 10, and then they live an average lifespan of about 45 years, which by our standards is not that long. By their standards, they probably do leave like a really. But I like that because it's like, listen, our lives are short. We're gonna go out on an adventure on this island. We're gonna live our life to the fullest, and they're happy about that.
It's actually not that short. It actually looks like a good life. Like once you hit like 60, your body starts to break down. Like at 45, that's pretty damn good. Especially since they're frog people.
Yeah, well, for 45 for them is like 90 for us. At that point, they're probably not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, Garson, just to kick back for a moment, back to the elves really quickly, I did take a look at the Resilient Friendship and the Gift one.
Yeah?
It's really fucking good. It is. Resilient Friendship is a enchantment cantrip. You magically assist a creature within range, granting it the benefits of the help action. If the target you help successfully accomplishes the task by the start of your next turn, you gain 1d4 temp HP for an hour.
So wait a minute.
And
so,
when you
hold on, so let me get this straight. If I'm doing a DC check, you can go, wait a minute, friendship high five. And you do, and you're like, yeah, now you can roll with advantage, and then if you succeed, I get temp hit points.
Yeah, when you reach 5th level, it goes to 1d6 temp HP, 11th level is 1d8, and 17th is 1d10.
And you just get that for free?
Yep.
And then there's Gift. Gift is terrifying because it's also really fucking cool.
Okay.
So, Gift. Choose a creature you can see within range. So, within 30 feet. You take 1d20, so you roll a d20 of necrotic damage, and the target regains hit points equal to the amount of damage you took.
So a blood transfusion.
Basically.
That could be good. That could be really good, especially for like if you had all those temp hit points and you're like, wait a minute, I'll heal you with the power of friendship. Ah! And you just roll like D10, give them your 10 temporary hit points, you just heal them back. It's like friendship. What the friendship for the win?
I hate to ask for the natural 20.
Oh my god! Like you deal 20 damage to yourself and you heal your friend 20 damage. You're like, no.
I rolled a nat 20. Fuck.
Oh, my stomach. Oh, why did I do this?
Nat 20 would be bad for someone.
Okay. All right. So they're all pretty good then. All the marks are pretty good in terms of gameplay. I mean, I thought selflessness, because resilient friendship, I had never heard of that before. So, but maybe nature's like probably the least useful, but dancing lights and animal messenger are still really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're all incredibly useful. What's the least useful out of everything being useful?
Right. And let's be fair here. Dancing light is a good thing because just to have that ability to make light appear without needing like a torch or anything and have it like stick to a wall, that there is a lot of good points to that. Not everything's going to be well lit, but all these are great marks. Yeah. So the elves are really good in this setting.
I can't see shit. Boom. Now you can.
Oh, okay.
Let there be light.
Let there be light.
What? Why is it a dancing man twerking as your light? Don't question it. Just use the fucking light.
So let's go back to the Nakudama real quick. There's not that whole lot to them. The Nakudama, they can do stuff like they can jump 20 feet in the air. That's pretty good. And your high jump is 15 feet, and they can do it with or without a running start. The thing that I like, they also have a bonus action attack, which is the grasping tongue. You can lash out your tongue at an object, and you can see within 15 feet of you that weighs no more than 5 pounds and pull it to you, catching it in your open hand and allowing it to fall at your feet. So they can basically like draw a weapon out of somebody's hands if it's, yeah.
They go blum.
Yeah, there's a chance of that.
Ninja.
Exactly. And it even goes down to latching tongue, which you can extend your tongue to latch onto a surface or creature. So grappling hook. So these guys can steal your shit and then launch themselves up onto the rooftop and protect. And
great, a whole clan of Greninja.
Well, I mean, look at them. These are Greninjas. Like they're just pawn Greninjas. And those are like the 3 main new races. There are variants of like the Dragonborn, the Dwarf, the Gnomes, all the other stuff. Even the Tieflings have like don't naturally exist in the world, but they have like origins of how they got into it. Now let's go into the fun things. We're gonna get through all the subclasses today, and then we're gonna backtrack next week to talk about a little bit of the some of how they play into the world itself. Cause this one I really wanted to talk about. We're gonna talk about the path of the Belly Brewer Barbarian.
Oh God.
Hold on. I love this class. No. You want to know why? I'll read you exactly why. It starts at Belly Concoction. Starting at level 3, you learn the hard-earned skill of belly brewing, an arcane technique in which you can swallow, mix, and brew magical concoctions right inside your gut, creating a number of unique effects. When you enter your rage, you focus your energy to harness and activate the effects of belly concoction. Choose combat, utility, or whimsy. You gain the effect of the chosen belly concoction at detail below, and you can change your belly concoction each time you rage. Let me read the combat one. Your body undergoes a unique change which magically alters your physical form, giving it the characteristics of rubber. While in the elastic state, you can use your reaction to when you are hit by a ranged attack, deflecting it with your belly. When you do so, the damage you take by the attack is reduced by 1d12 plus your constitution modifier and your barbarian level. Additionally, immediately before you make a melee weapon attack on your turn, you can use your bonus action to stretch your arms, increasing your range by 5 feet for the rest of the turn. The first time you hit while your arms are stretched in this way, the attack deals an extra 1d6 of weapon damage. So, the first thing is you become Monkey D. Luffy.
Mhm.
I was gonna say hi, Luffy.
I know. But the thing is that the potion brewing is so unique because it's actually a big mechanic in the game that we have to dedicate a whole episode to it because it's that massive. It's like 150 new ingredients, and they give you a detailed explanation as to what they each make. But these guys, they can eat the ingredients and gain not only the effect of the belly concoction, which is essentially making your own potion inside your stomach, but they gain additional benefits from it. So I love this. I think it's a fantastic class. And then, of course, you get, like, utility, which is the bubbling elixir in your stomach is perfectly mixed to dissolve and absorb anything you can swallow. As a bonus action, you can consume any object that you can fit in your mouth. When you do, you can expend one of your hit die as part of this bonus action to heal yourself. Roll the die, add your constitution modifier, and regain a number of hit points equal to the total. Swallowing an object in this way destroys it, provided the object isn't magical. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Let me explain what that means, basically.
Mhm.
I can eat your sword.
Hey, Nephew, that sounds
Well,
like you. I'm just gonna let.
Oh my god, man. No.
That sounds like something that honestly, I could see Nephew you creating a character that'd be like, I wonder what this sword tastes like. Hold on.
Oh, wait, it gets better.
No.
I can eat the fire.
I can eat fire.
No, you can. If you find a piece of coal that's on fire, you can eat it and then absorb the fire into your stomach.
Spicy.
That's
Like, so now you're
Spicy.
Natsu from you're Natsu from Fairy Tail. Or let's say you found someone was charging up let's say someone was going to release a poison gas. You can eat the gas. Cuz it hold on. No, it's okay, because the way the wording is that you can consume any object that can fit in your mouth. It doesn't say that you can fit it doesn't say it has to all fit in at once. And you can put gas in your mouth and then eat it, and then you can consume the gas to power up your own internal gas making. Okay, I'm just not realizing the way I described this.
killer burp
Yeah, you can unleash a killer burp with this.
or a fart, depending on.
Atomic bomb.
I was taking a sip, you goddamn son of a bitch.
Wait a minute. I have don't worry, everyone. I have brought the ultimate weapon for the belly brewer. Oh my god, Douglas, you can't eat. That's right, I brought these cans of beans!
All you hear is.
Run! Everyone run! He's gonna blow! Exactly.
You got a can
Thor.
of beans.
That man's got a can of beans on his head. Anyway, the last ability is Whimsy, and you focus on the magical brew inside your gut and get an array of strange and unruly effects. When in this state, you gain one of the following effects at the start of your turn. You can teleport to an unoccupied space within 10 feet of you. You take 1d4... Yeah.
So Misty Step.
Yes. You take 1d4 of necrotic damage. The next ability check you make before the end of your turn gains a bonus equal to the number rolled. So indigestion help, and you can immediately take the help action as a bonus action.
Huh.
And then you gain a random visual effect that accompanies it. So, like, let's, for example, say your hair turns to moss, a special bird circles around your head, or a tattoo of a dancing man appears on your person and moves around your body. So Maui.
I was gonna say.
This is Maui. Maui from Disney. What can I say except you're welcome? Now I'm gonna go steal this boat. Wait, what? Nope, bye. Thank you.
What the fuck?
He'll be
What the hell,
copyrighted.
man?
Oh my god.
But no. So Neko, we're talking about the belly brewing. We're talking about the subclasses, and the first one's the Path of the Belly Brewer Barbarian, which is
No, I know. I'm
Okay,
listening.
I know, but basically, like, yeah, Whimsy is just Maui, Utility is Natsu from Fairy Tail, and Combat is Luffy from One Piece. You basically get to absorb and turn into cartoon characters at that point. And I think that's kind of fun. Like, I like that. And the other thing that they say is that you get to make the potions in your gut. So the way I'm viewing it is that depending on what ingredients you have in your bag, you can consume them and then make the potion effect on top of this as well for a rage. So you actually get to customize the rage really to your benefit. For example, I think there's a potion of steel skin that you can eat like the herbs and stuff, and then you get the bonus AC on top of the other effect that you get with this. That's how I'm reading it.
It's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love the next subclass.
Oh
It
yeah,
looks so
we'll get into
good.
College of Masks in a moment, but just to finish up the belly brewing, side effects. At level 3, you gain a number of magical side effects due to the countless stuff that you've been eating off the ground, and you learn Prestidigitation and Thaumaturgy as cantrips. Okay, bonus cantrips, never a problem.
You want to know that what this subclass now just brings to my mind?
What's that?
Skyrim logic.
Yes,
Yeah,
actually, yes.
Actually, I was about to say, like, where have I seen this before?
Skyrim logic. 80 wheels of cheese.
I'm
Going
so-
straight down your throat.
Actually, that's probably the best way to describe it. This is like if the Dragonborn was just eating all the shit off the floor.
Just like eating shit to discover what they do and shit.
Yeah, you seen that
God.
TikTok? We'll talk about it later, but carry on, guys, and carry on.
Okay, so level 3, you get 2 additional cantrips, and this is also at the same time you get belly concoction, so that's pretty good, I guess. Bonus cantrips, Prestidigitation and Thaumaturge are not like the most. They're more utility spells than anything, but a barbarian having magic is never a bad thing.
It's always a bad thing when they get angry.
Yeah, here's the thing. Prestidigitation and Thaumaturgy are the spells where you're like, oh, why do I need them? But when you need them, you're like, oh, thank fuck.
Hey, fuck, I
Does-
have them.
Okay. Can I tell you guys a story about a campaign I was in where I literally used Prestidigitation to save the world?
Yes, but very quickly.
Okay, so this was with Cross, and we were doing a Phyrexian invasion into, I believe it was Kamigawa.
Okay.
It was when the Phyrexians were super popular, and basically my character had Prestidigitation, and it was the lady who was the scrolls to Mio who had just been Phyrexianized, and my character was alone and had to beat them up and felt really bad about it because they had been sent to find her by her kid. That was really awkward. But the thing is that my character knew that at that same place that there was a way to get her back. There was a process of like de-Phyrexianizing people as it is in canon. Only thing is, she's splattered with oil everywhere. My character can't transport her without risking really quickly a lot of corruption. They won't make it without being corrupted. My character, and I had to justify this by digging deep into the spell effects. I justified using Prestidigitation, cleaning up every square foot of her with a different casting and spending all that time, and I used Prestidigitation to clean up all the oil on her completely, and I was able to transport her back and basically save the entirety of Kamigawa with a cantrip.
Well, that definitely is one way to do it. So, yeah, in that case, it's nice that the Barbarian has it. And like I said, the Barbarian doesn't really use magic, except the Wild Magic Barbarian, but we don't talk. Oh, speaking of, this is a bit off topic, but Baldur's Gate 3's next big patch for all the subclasses is coming out in 3 days, so everyone get ready for that one.
I'm still waiting for crossplay.
That's coming out in 3 days, too.
Same.
3 days, people. That's coming out at the same time.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, back to that. So, let's go. So, Quick brew. This is the part where you start being able to concoct the potions in your stomach. You get to choose a
Eh.
common potion that you would normally consume, and you can activate the effect of the chosen potion as a bonus action. Once you activate it, you can't do it again until you finish a long rest. If the potion requires a saving throw, the DC equals 18 plus your proficiency bonus and your constitution modifier. Each time you gain a level in this class, you can swap one of the chosen potions with a different one.
Huh.
So, basically it's like this. If you have, so like I said, the Belly Brewer is one of its benefits is that it gets to make its own potions like an alchemist by eating the ingredients, and then you can basically and then you can use them as bonus actions. And this allows for a very creative setup because potions can have a lot of really broken effects if you know how to use them. For example, at any moment you could basically be like, "Oh, we're going into the ice level. Hang on a second. I'm just gonna eat this. I'm just gonna eat this root I found in the ground, and now I'm gonna use my quick brew a ice resistant potion in my belly, and now I'm okay." But that's the benefit of this class.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So like
Let me-
what
let
I'm
me-
thinking is like the eating food system or the tonic system in Breath of the Wild, where you find certain ingredients in the surroundings and cook them into like it's mostly monster parts and bugs, but different elements give you resistance to different things.
Yeah, in a sense. I mean, but that's just an
Yeah, you do-
example.
Yeah. You just gotta jiggle your belly a lot. Just jiggle, jiggle,
Yeah.
jiggle, jiggle, jiggle.
I gotta rub my belly. Rub the belly.
It's just the Patrick using his belly as a drum.
You
No,
essentially
no.
become fat. You essentially become fat bastard.
No. In my mind, it's more like, you took my only food. Now I'm gonna starve. And that's kind of how that's the more Patrick-oriented bit I'm thinking of with this
Yeah.
guy.
Why do I imagine that it's just going to be like, now we're all gonna die because you didn't let me belly brew?
But and then the other two abilities, its cap is lingering effects. At level 10, the ever-present concoction in your stomach is so potent it grants you benefits even when you aren't raging. When you finish a long rest, choose one of the following conditions: blinded, charmed, exhaustion. Okay, right then and there, exhaustion was probably the one that most people would pick. Frightened, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, resistant, or stunned. You have advantage on saving throw against that condition until you choose a different one with that feature. Let me just break this down. This allows you to basically say at every long rest, I don't feel like worrying about that right now, depending on where we are.
Right.
Like, but it also tackles exhaustion and being prone. Those are two very hard abilities to counter. This guy just gets it for free by sleeping.
I'm gonna take a nap.
You know what? I really, really, really don't feel like being knocked on my back today. So you know what? I'm just gonna take a nap. Wait, aren't you already gonna be on your back? Yeah, because then when I'm awake, I'll remember what that feels like, and my belly will jiggle enough to counteract it.
That's probably the best way to describe it. But like you said, it's lingering effects. I like that. And you get to pick like every status condition in the game. You can just say, I have advantage on that shit not happening today.
Nope.
And the last capstone ability of the Belly Brewer is starting at level 14, you get an additional common potion as well as an uncommon potion using your quick brew feature. So you get 2 potions and an uncommon potion. Now, we'll have to look at when we get to the brewing potions section of the book next time. That's going to be where we're going to see the strength of this class play out. We're not going to see it right now because obviously it's not that easy to basically describe, but I can basically summarize it like this. You could have one potion be a health potion, and then you could have another potion be like a steel skin potion, which gives you a bonus AC. So every long rest, you essentially can do a healing surge and an additional armor and have additional armor class. That's what this ability is really says to me, and I think that's fun as hell. And it doesn't even say you have to eat the ingredients. You can totally play it up like you don't need to eat it. You just have the belly stuff going on in your stomach. Or the DM can say, okay, did you eat that ingredient that lets you make that? Just saying.
It's not do you have it, it's did you eat it?
Yeah. Jeffy, did you eat that Subway sandwich? Jeffy?
Yes. What the fuck you gonna do about it, bitch?
So that's the Belly Brewer subclass for barbarians. I like it because it's not really. It feels like a mix between alchemist and barbarian, but it also feels like the barbarian would definitely be brewing potions this way because he's not like doing science and shit.
Yeah.
He's just eating it off the floor. Oh boy, mushroom! Patrick, I don't think
No.
you should eat that. I don't know what you're talking about, SpongeBob. I feel great. Patrick, you're turning blue. I might need to go to the emergency room.
I have to head out now, so I will talk to y'all later. Nephew, we can talk later if I'm available at that time. So,
All right.
No worries, no worries.
Take care, man. Just thank you for
I-
joining us.
of course, I will
Yeah.
talk to y'all as soon as I can. Bye bye.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. So moving on. So moving on to the bards. The bards get the College of Masks.
I love
Oh my
this
god,
one. This one looks so
l-
good.
Okay. This is a class that if I were to play OboJima, this would be the class that I would go with because it is look, you can already tell based on Ravnica, I love masked characters. I love them.
Yeah.
This would be the class that I would rock so hard.
And I would be into that.
Yeah, Ping, you'll get your turn.
Well, so that's a good segue into this because the College of Masked bards are actually like they wear masks obviously, but they're more like kabuki artists from Japan. That's what this one is based on. To be a bard
Yeah.
from the College of Masks is to be a theater actor capable of losing themselves in a role by using masks they imbue with magic. Through these masks, bards can mimic others and even take on attributes of the person their mask depicts. So kabuki artists.
Yeah, it's really this genuinely makes me happy because most people when they think of masked characters, they aren't typically like using the mask as like a form of as like part of their character story or their subclass. It's just a cool thing that the character can have.
It's
Like,
a gimmick.
oh, yeah, it's a gimmick. But the
Like
thing
adding
is that
flavor.
yeah. Like the thing is that this class kind of takes what it kind of feels like what College of Spirits is, and it takes it in a different direction. Do you guys know what I'm talking about when I say College of Spirits?
I do not.
Like talking with the dead?
No, well, technically yes, but also no. Basically, well, yes, but actually no. Basically, it's you are talking with the spirits, but basically you're drawing in their stories, and those stories, based on which one you get, give different abilities.
Okay. That's actually pretty neat.
I used this in another Ravnica campaign, to have a character who spoke with the dead and gained their power. I didn't do it the way that I wanted to do it, and it feels like College of Masks would be a little closer to that.
Mhm.
Because the thing is, you're able to create these masks, and then you are basically you get like every time you craft a new mask, you can get different abilities. You could get like the protagonist mask. You could be you could be the one. You could be a sea urchin. You could be an old man. You could have a spirit mask. You could have a fox mask.
You
All
can be
these
a literal
masks.
demon.
Yeah, all these masks provide different abilities, and that's really fascinating. And you can use the copycat spell to like expend your bardic inspirations to cast alter self into those beings, into a humanoid that you've seen. So let's say, and the way that I'm kind of thinking about it is that unless you're going for like a sea urchin or a stone mask or something very much like not humanoid, you would have masks based on people that you know. So imagine putting on a mask of like a fox and turning into like a fox humanoid figure, and
A
you
kitsune.
also a kitsune, and you you can move through a hostile creature's space regardless of its size. Another creature's space isn't difficult terrain for you. Additionally, your AC increases by 1, and when you make a dex save, you can use your reaction to gain advantage on the roll. And then you also look like you also gain the alter self, which you gain 5 temp HP, and the spell ends early if you lose all these hit points or die, which makes sense.
Yeah.
You gain new equipment that you would associate with the target and are aware of it possessing, such as clothing, armor, weapons, or other small belongings. Any equipment gained in this way has no magical properties, even if the original object does. And any equipment you are wearing, like, melds in, which is so freaking fascinating.
That is
Because
so
imagine,
cool.
imagine transforming into this fox-like being, and then you take a hit, and then you're just this dude wearing a fox mask where this fox person was.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But the alter self is, it's not even an illusion. That's the thing. It's not an illusion. So if they were to put a hand on you, if you were to do like disguise self, that would give it away. But alter self is, they can place a hand on you and they go, whoa, it really is you. Which is so cool, because it's not just that you're like, you know what they look like and how to act like them, and I am so edgy and awesome. But you actually take on their physical characteristics, and sorry, I'm gushing.
It's okay.
Why are you sorry? This is your time to like gush.
Gush away.
Stop
God, that sounds
apologizing for
wrong
your
out of
existence.
context.
Just be careful not to soak the seat.
That sounds really wrong out of context. Like what I just said. Go ahead, gush.
What did you say? Yeah, go ahead.
Gush away.
Go ahead. Gush away. But there's also then many masked performance, which then, okay, I'm just gonna come out and say this. This is what the fucking Thrall should have been. Enthrall as a spell is fucking garbage. It's like, you magically enchant people so that they roll with disadvantage on perception. What the fuck? I'm not wasting a second level spell slot on that. However, many mass performance is, over the course of 1 minute, you can engage in a captivating performance and attempt to cause nearby creatures to become charmed, frightened, or fall unconscious. Choose a number of creatures up to your bard level within 60 feet that can hear you. When the performance ends, each target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be subjected to the chosen condition. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. That is so good.
It is.
Obviously, it would have to be tamed down, but that's what I wanted Enthrall to be. I wanted Enthrall to be like Charm Person, but better. Not just a reduction on your perception check, because, like, come on. Any DM worth his salt is not going to have the NPC go, yeah, I'm going to roll perception to see if I notice the group walking by while this stripper's in my face with her tits.
I like to point. I just want to make one thing. Just point out one thing about the ability, and I think this is really a good thing to mention, is that you get this at 6th level, and it says choose a number of creatures up to your bard level, which means at minimum it targets 6. This thing could at level 20. This thing could dock out an entire army or a small mercenary force by itself. I mean, this
also, I do love that you can get the charmed, frightened, or unconscious ability, because that basically means they're either falling in love with you, they're fucking terrified, or all of them just came at once and are now lying on their back.
Not the belly brewer. The belly brewer is like, I don't like being on my back.
Too bad you're unconscious. You're unconscious standing up.
Unconscious standing up.
But no, that is a really good ability. And then obviously the capstone ability is Gift of Theater.
At 14th level, you gain the ability to give one of your theater masks to an ally within 5 feet of you. As an action, you temporarily release the incantation that binds your theater mask to you, allowing one of your allies to use it. The mask can be used in this way for 1 minute, and only one other creature can be designated to use it.
Oh my god.
So that's basically you going, "Hi, I need an ally for this stage. You'd be great as a demon." What do you mean I'd be great as a demon?
Can I just laugh? Okay, I want to just say one thing. I think this is funny. If you had this, I would love it if like the DM was like, okay, so if I was at College of Bards, I would have like a special mask that I would only give to my allies. And I think if everyone has seen this movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the mask. It's like the mask from The Mask that Jim Carrey wore.
Mask.
Yeah,
Oh
it's like
my
he
God.
puts it on and then he's like smoking, and you just like get like a bump up to 20 charisma, and you just start being like a fucking cartoon character. That would be a like I would allow that as a DM if someone were to do that. Just say, can I have a mask that when they put it on, they just turn into the mask? And like, yes, 100%. Speaking of masks, let's take a look at the real ones real quick because there are some interesting ones. You have the demon one. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to gush about the masks really quickly.
Well, that's what we're talking about now. There's a bunch of them, so why don't we go over them and just mention what some of them can do?
Okay, so the demon one, this is really fascinating, especially as someone who loves warlocks. These are basically masks, invocation as masks, and I love it. So basically, you wear the mask, and then based on the 3rd level, like tools of performance, you can have that specific ability. So, like with the demon one, arcane memory. While wearing this mask, you can use an action and expel a spell slot of 1st level or higher to magically learn whether a creature or object you specify has been within a 20-foot radius of your current location in the past 24 hours. If you expend a spell slot of 3rd level or higher, you get a brief vision of the creature object while it was there, and you learn the exact time the creature object was present. So basically, you're getting the "I knew you were here, jackass." And then the demon eye, which is basically a "I see you." Because you gain the ability to magically see through barriers of about 15 feet.
I'll be right back. Let me back in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just that clip of the Morgan Freeman like, I can smell you.
I can smell your fear.
So it's blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of leather, 3 feet of wood or dirt. Which, you know what? That's more than fair because, like, with like detect magic and whatnot, that's about the same that you get. That's about the same.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it's exactly, but it feels close enough to where I'd be like, okay, that's understandable. I'm not upset by that. Like those are reasonable conditions for. I can't see through like 6 feet of dirt and be like, I see dead people.
That would be so funny though. Imagine the ways you could fuck with people like that, like, bro.
I see dead people.
Where?
It's like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah, I see them
In the
too. There's
ground.
Greg over there from the spirit world. He's hello. Hi
Keeps asking me
there.
about my car's extended warranty.
I'm from Triple Ghost A. I'm just talking about your car's extended warranty. Back, demon spawn, back.
Now, what's really fascinating is the next one is Harpy, which is basically you gain flying speed and a resistance to psychic damage. I'm sorry, how many things give you resistance to psychic damage?
Yes.
Not a lot, actually. It's one of the more uncommon damage types that you get resistance for. It's why psionics are so broken.
It's basically on line with force damage.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Fish, you
Then
get...
there's
Yeah.
Fish, you gain swimming speed equal to your walking speed and the ability to breathe underwater. That's
Oh.
great. And then you get the water bullet and whelm weapon spells. These are fantastic spells. They actually are really quite interesting. So whelm weapon is basically you envelop 3 weapons of your choice, not 3 creatures, but 3 weapons of your choice. So even if a creature is wielding like 3 different weapons or has like, shit, this is useless, and then throws it away and gets another one, you can still have it be like, fuck this one too. But you roll a d4. For the duration, any damage dealt by the targeted weapons is reduced by the number you roll to a minimum of 1. So essentially, if you whelm a weapon for like an assassin with like a dagger or whatnot, or a whip, or any of those 1d4 weapons, there is a chance you just blunt it all together. Like, imagine an assassin coming to you and being like, I'm going to kill you. Dink! Why is it not working? Why is your blade wet? It's like, performance issues are common. And then the other one, which is just straight up like really fucking cool. This is such a great idea. Because, so water bullet. You create a sphere of swirling water that spins rapidly in your hand or mouth before you hurl it at a creature within range.
So the
Make
raw
a
sen,
ranged
so the
spell-
raw sen gone.
So Haktua.
Yeah, you got that huck too on you. Make a ranged spell attack against a target. On a hit, the target takes bludgeoning damage based on how far it is away from you. 1 to 10 feet is 5d6 for a first level. 11 to 60 is 4d6. And 61 to 90 is 3d6. When you cast this spell using a spell slot second level or higher, damage increases by 1d6. So what's really fascinating about that is that half of the range for the max damage, you're at disadvantage. Because when you rank ranged attacks within 5 feet, you're at disadvantage. So if you're going for and most weapons only have a reach of 5 feet. So if you back up to get that 5 feet to get to cut out the disadvantage, you're most likely getting an opportunity attack against you. So sure, though the 10 to 60 feet or 60 to 90 feet, sure, you're safer, but the damage is reduced. The more risk you put on yourself, the more damage the spell does, and it's still not a guarantee that you're going to do more damage. Which is fascinating. Because it's like, oh, I have this mask that allows me to cast a really powerful spell right away. That's true. But you also have to be within 10 feet of an enemy. And for a bard, specifically, that's really tough to justify. And I love that.
And so with the fox one, while I'm wearing this mask, you move through a hostile creature space regardless of size and not I think it doesn't say you don't provoke attacks of opportunity. I thought it did. And it isn't difficult terrain though. Your AC is increased by 1, and when you make a dex saving throw, you can use a reaction to gain advantage on the roll. That's nice. Not as good as the fish, not as good as the fish or the harpy, but like they all can't be amazing.
Yeah, the fox one's very simple. The fox one is like, okay, you're in danger a lot. You're on land a lot. You're in danger a lot.
Mhm.
But like, let's be entirely fair here. An increase of an AC of 1 just for wearing a mask? Like, that's an uncommon item right there. Like the cloak, like that's a shield. Like that's a shield +1 or the Cloak of Protection right there for free. And you get dex saving throw advantages for using your reaction. So it isn't as amazing, but the utility is unprecedented. Like, you're saving 500 gold by having that mask.
Right.
And for any party to be able to say, yeah, I have this thing that makes me not have to spend 500 gold. That's insane.
But you know
And
which
you
one?
can just have.
Sorry,
Sorry, go right ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I was actually I was moving on to the golem one because we got like 5 more masks to get through, and we got a few more classes to get through. So I get it.
Yeah, the golem one is fascinating. Basically, it is the mask that you wear when you're teeny tiny and someone hands you a great axe going, good luck, chump.
Okay, so Neffy.
Aw.
So Neffy.
Wait.
Yeah, Neffy, basically. You don't have disadvantage on your attack rolls with weapons as a result of the heavy property, and attacks and spells deal double damage to objects and structures. Dude, imagine if you did that with Shatter. You could break a fucking building. Because Shatter already does. Shatter does double damage to objects already, and then you're doubling that.
So quadruple damage.
I
you're
could just I could just imagine like a tiny gnome with this mask on with a little pickaxe. He goes, hi ho, it's off to work I go, and he just sees this big building. He's like, I don't like you. Shatter. The building then just like implodes and collapses to the ground, and everyone's just staring like.
Why do I imagine that there's some dude on like the 5th floor taking a massive dookie and holding the paper as his walls crumble around him?
Oh God, no! Not like this! Not like
Jurassic
this!
Park.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic
Imagine. I'm just laughing because I can imagine he just farted and he was like, I didn't think I farted that bad.
No! And he just collapses
And
underneath him.
he can't see the gnome, so he just thinks his fart destroyed his home.
Did someone drop a house on me?
Then there is the old man mask, which like that sounds like a mask that you wouldn't really want to wear, but you can cast detect magic and identify at will without expending a spell slot or material component.
Oh, damn.
I am sorry, but if you get something that allows you to cast identify from level 3 without material components, that is a mask you take every day of the week.
I am just an old man, but I know that's magic.
Yeah. But that identify is such a powerful spell that the fact that you can just do that and it takes up a mask slot, cool, whatever. I can deal with having only one additional mask slot at level 3. I'm not passing up having identify. That
is true. Then we have the protagonist, which is basically when you roll initiative. I mean, there are so many masks. This class is a big build around. So when you roll initiative,
I said it was like the invocations.
Yeah, exactly.
I said it was like the invocations. Yeah.
So the protagonist mask. When you roll initiative while wearing this mask, you gain temporary hit points equal to half your bard level, rounded up. Okay. As a bonus action, you can make a creature as your antagonist for 1 minute. For the duration, you have advantage on ability checks involving your antagonist. Additionally, when you see your antagonist make an attack, you can use your reaction to expend the use of your Bardic Inspiration, rolling a Bardic Inspiration dice to reduce the attack roll by the number rolled on the die. Okay. That's so pretty broken.
Like, that's Hunter's Mark, but better. Sure, you don't get the damage, but everything else.
You know what? That's okay if you don't get the damage. Like, because obviously this is meant to be like the support class. But on top of that, it's in a support ability that is very useful because if it's like single target, great. If it's not single target, then whatever. It's not the end of the world. That's fine. But
Yeah, it's yeah. Just really quickly moving on to the next mask.
mm-hmm.
The sea urchin one is like the protagonist one is very much the case of I am the hero, you are the villain. I will now fuck your shit up.
I'm gonna fuck you
But
up, Dad. It's up. It's fuck you up, Dad.
What is it?
no, I have 4 words for you. I will fuck you. 5 words up.
Okay.
But then sea urchin, while wearing this mask, you can use a bonus action and expend a use of bardic inspiration. I don't really know why they put that line there, because bardic inspiration is already a bonus action, so I don't really get that. But again, that's just me nitpicking the book.
Well, I
it's
think
not an actual.
Well, I think the reason they're doing that is because this isn't replacing your bardic inspiration. It's an additional thing that your bardic inspiration can do, and they don't want you to be able to like spam it a lot in one round. So you have to make it. Yeah, so you got to make a choice for either give someone a bonus, or you got to make it so that you heal yourself.
Yeah. Rolling a bardic inspiration die to heal yourself. So basically, you go, yeah, you know what? I could help you, but I have a big boo boo.
I have a big ouchie. My stimmy hurt.
And then additionally, you can use an action to attempt to immobilize a creature you see within 30 feet of you, injecting it with magical toxins.
Oh.
The creature must succeed on a con saving throw or become restrained for 1 minute. At the end of each of its turns, it can repeat the saving throw, yada yada yada. You can use this ability a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses of it. You're just wearing the sea urchin mask, and you go, high five, buddy.
Haha, I got you. What do you mean? Now you're addicted to heroin. I'm cold. Okay, so we got 2 more. Let's speed through it real quick. But the spirit one's probably gonna be the one we got to talk about. Yeah, I hope Neko's still here because the next one's the druid.
I am still here. I'm just listening.
Okay, I didn't know.
The spirit one is genuinely amazing because first of all, you get the speak with dead spell, which can turn into that D&D movie moment of how many questions am I allowed to ask you? 3. Was that a question or does this count as a question?
That is a
2.
question.
What do you mean? Why are you counting down? 1. What's going to happen to us? Bit.
All right, I love that one.
Additionally, you can expend a use of your bardic inspiration to temporarily move through the spirit realm. Whenever you would move, you instead step through the veil and into the spirit realm in the area where it overlaps with your current plane. You remain in the spirit realm until you stop moving or your turn ends. So basically, keep on walking, gotta keep on walking so I don't drop back in onto a sword.
I'm just gonna power walk my way to victory.
And the thing is that if you occupy the same spot as a solid object, and this is where it actually hurts more than most, you take 1d10 of force damage.
Ooh. Low. I mean, you do get to set 7th level, so so that's not that bad.
It's a risk reward kind of thing.
But like for other spells, it's like 1d6 for even like Dimension Door and whatnot. This is brutal. You have to pay attention.
It's true, but free Dimension Door, can't deny that.
Yeah.
True. While on the spirit realm, you can only affect and be affected by other creatures on that plane. Creatures that aren't in the spirit realm can't perceive you and can't interact with you. So you basically do to them a bye-bye.
And then here's an idea. If you did this and then you went into the goodie mart and you went to that one section behind the fridge and you went down into the spirit tunnel because you're still moving, you could in theory interact with the spirits of the spirit tunnel. No, I'm not letting that go, okay?
Not gonna let it go. It's gonna be a running gag throughout this whole fucking
Possibly.
podcast.
well, this whole fucking maybe this one episode, this 2 episodes, we're actually recording 2 at the same time. So
Oh.
while the last one is the stone mask.
Yeah, the stone mask is really simple. You basically gain proficiency in the athletic spells. The athletic spells. God damn it. The
Yeah,
athletic
the athletic
skill.
spells. We all know
Athletic
how many
spells,
athletic
yeah.
spells there are. I cast
And-
4-minute mile.
I cast 20 set push-ups.
I cast
no,
set up.
I'm go- No, I'm gonna make all of you be traumatized with 4 words. I cast beep test.
Oh, I got some.
I cast the Grand Pacer test.
Damn it, Neffy beat me to it. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we call the that's what we call the beep test.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
okay.
So you basically run beep, run beep, run beep.
Yeah, I remember doing that. Oh god.
And then you get resistance from all bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from. Actually, no, you just take.
No.
Yeah, you just take a 2 damage reduction from it. That's even better.
Yeah, like resistance, you still take the damage. But again, if they roll a 1 or 2 on damage, which even at like the biggest weapons of like a great sword and whatnot, that's still like a what is it, like a 6 or 10% chance.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. And
Okay.
additionally, you have advantage on ability checks and saving throws against being pushed, pulled, or knocked prone while wearing the mask. My mask and my jiggling belly are powerful.
Right. So with that being said, my final thoughts on the College of Masks Bard is, yeah, this thing is like a very nice utility class. It's got a lot of options, some more damaging, some more support, some more just generalization, but I do like the fact that you can basically not only copy it, but it's amazing. I like this.
Yeah, something that really caught my attention just really quickly
Mhm.
is that kind of going back to the Kinks and Cantrips book for a moment. It's kind of like the Belly Brewer has more OboJima applications and is really tough to bring out of it. But the College of Masks, you could easily bring to another campaign, not a problem.
Yeah.
Exactly. And speaking of, let's pull up to boy, I sure hope Neko's here for this part because she's gonna love this. We're
I
actually
am here for this.
all right. We're here. We're finally talking about the Druid subclass, the circle of the petal.
Ooh.
In the tranquil groves where nature's harmony sings loudest, there exists a circle of druids attuned to the delicate dance of petals upon the breeze. These druid guardians of nature world, known as the Circle of the Petal, draw their power from the spirit of OboJima, the steady island breeze and the epiphany beauty of the resilience of flowers. It's the flower druid, but not in the sense, because what they do is that yeah. So if you ever see, so these druids typically what they do is they you ever seen that martial arts move where they stand in the middle of a field and they just like have one toe on the flower and they spin their staff around and a whirlwind of petals like appears out of it?
So, what's his name?
Master Oogway.
Master Uruguay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, this is Master Oogway.
Okay. All I'm going to say with this is, and Neko, feel free to back me up, is I would argue with Garson for this for you, because we do
Okay.
have another Circle of the Land Druid. I would argue with
Ooh.
Garson if you wanted to spend like some downtime and turn into a Circle of the Petal Druid. I would argue for you with this for Hydrangea. I would argue with you.
Because here's what it can do. So at 2nd level, you become permitted with the spirit of OboJima, and you're now able to control a fraction of it that manifests as flower petals on the druid's choosing. As a bonus action, you can spend a use of your wild shape to call on this power and conjure a resilient cloud of petals that function as an extension of your own being. So you don't get to shape wild shape, but you get to summon like a massive barrage of flower petals. And you can attack with these things. They basically can make a ranged spell attack. If it hits, they take 1d6 slashing at level 2, and then it increases to 2d6 at level 5, 3d6 at level 11, and at 17th level 4d6. Now, here's the thing I find interesting. This is not a normal. This is a bonus attack. This is a bonus action attack. and that can go up to 4d6 on a bonus action.
Damn.
Yeah. And when you or a creature you can see within 10 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to reduce that damage by amount equal to your druid level plus your wisdom modifier. And then the cloud of petals dissipates because you protected that person. Again, Hydrangea, let me know if you want to use this. I will put this in D&D Beyond. I will get the book for you for D&D Beyond so we can make this character together.
We will discuss it because I want to see more in detail.
So next up at level 6, so that was just the petal dance. Petal beast mimicry. You could basically imbue. Yeah, you can make the petals turn into a beast.
Like on the art.
Yes.
Beside it, I think that it looks like a T-Rex.
Kind of, but it gets hit points equal to 3 times your druid level. So they'll get like 18 hit points to start with. It can take its attack action. Its attack is modified equal to your spell attack modifier. So if you're like, I don't know what this one uses. I think it uses
It uses the bestial spirit stat block, which is another page down. It's called reading the next page, Garson.
Shut up! Shut up! I'm not having that happen a 4th time.
You just did, jackass.
You're the jackass, anyway. Anyway, in addition to your walking speed, it has a flying speed of 20 feet and can hover, so flower cloud of death. And it can move through, and it has Misty Step all the time.
Huh.
All I'm thinking is for Hydrangea, this is my flower bear.
Yeah, it's like it's
bear.
lovely, it's nice, like, and I love him, and he has like a beak, and he is my friend. His name is George.
The best part is, the best part.
Go ahead.
All right, so here's the best part. At level 11, you can expend 2 uses of this ability to summon 2 spirits instead of 1, and then you gain additional use of it for every level. So, for example, at level 11, you get 3 uses, and then at 16, you get 4 uses, and then at I believe it. So yeah, at 16 you get 4 uses, and then you regain all your expended uses of the feature after a long rest. So you could have at level 11, you can summon 2 of these things at once and control them both.
Nice.
These are my friends, George and George 2.
And now they eat you. So, coming up after that, Spirit of OboJima, starting at level 10. This is what I really like about this class too, is because it the petals get more and more deadly as you level up. This one turns into the wind carries a collection of brilliant white petals in the direction you seek. You have advantage on making skill checks for survival. Additionally, you can use an action to call forth a massive swarm of petals, which create a great barrier in a space that you can see. A wall of shifting petals forms. The wall is 1 foot thick, 15 feet tall, and is up to 16 feet long.
60, not 16.
60, damn it. It appears in any... So basically, you get to become Bartolomeo from One Piece, and you're like, Barrier! And nothing physical can pass through the wall except for creatures designated by you. It is immune to all damage. The petals are magically heal any hole that you would create by an attack. The wall lasts a number of minutes equal to your druid level. So this can last for 10 minutes. You can put up a big-ass wall, and they're like, God damn it, I can't get around these flowers! I like to imagine like you're doing like that airbender shit where you're like where you like swipe your staff and the petals just form a magical wall. That's kind of what
the funny thing is that it's not even concentration, so you just throw that up and you get a wall of force for free.
Or you could then turn them into and then you can turn the wall into, ooh, wait, I just thought of something. And I think you can do this, okay? If you have the petal barrier up, you can then expunge uses of your plant beast mimicry to have him come out of the wall and attack them while you're on the other side of the wall.
Ooh.
I can't get through these flowers. Why is this flower coming at me?
Hi, I'm George. I'm gonna eat you now. Ah! And then the capstone ability, Winds of Revival. Starting at 14th level, the Spirit of OboJima comes to your aid in your time of greatest need. When you are reduced to 0 hit points, you instead regain half of your hit points and are lifted to your feet amongst a turbulent tempest of petals. You can you can then immediately use your reaction to send a wave of concussive wind sweeping out from you. Enter the Avatar state.
I want this. I want to be this class. This is so cool.
This is just if
I
Hydrangea
mean-
was the Avatar.
Oh my god, yes, please.
So Neko, I'm going to say
Yes.
this. If you want to switch subclasses, I will work with Garson to make it so.
I'm really enjoying the land because I gotta work on my thing tonight. Because tomorrow, like I know we should up to level 7.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Yep.
up another druid level. I want
Yeah.
to rain down lightning on people.
Well, you
That's more than fair.
yes.
That's more than fair. I just wanted to offer the option. Hell, even I would laugh if
Would
Ping
temptation
took this
offer.
class.
I was
I would
just about
laugh
to
if-
say that. Like, Ping. Since he's
Yeah.
like,
No. Oh my goodness. Okay, I will tell you this after the podcast. I had an amazing story beat idea for this.
Okay, one last thing on the Beast Spirit, because this is kind of interesting. It basically can do normal melee attack in the form of Chomp, but as a reaction, when the Beast Spirit reduces a creature to 0 hit points, it can consume some of their essence to regain 1d10 hit points. Okay, I want to just point a scenario out for this class, because this is essentially just becoming the Avatar at this point. But you set up the Spirit of OboJima wall. You put the beasts on the other side of the wall where the bad thing is on it, and you are not. The wall cannot have anything come through. It's 1 foot thick. It's like 15 feet tall, 60 feet long. That's probably enough to stop a dragon.
yeah.
And
Well,
then,
unless it does the fire breath, and
Yeah.
I assume that.
well, no. Actually, it doesn't, because it is immune to all damage, and the petals magically heal any hole that would be created by an attack or effect. So even if they get
Oh.
through, so even if they get through the wall heals itself. So fire's not going to stop this thing. Even the beasts are not weak to fire. They don't have a weakness. They can have a. They're spirits.
This is a broken subclass. This is a broken ass subclass. I love it.
And I think you still get access to Druid magic, because it doesn't say anything about not having a spell book. So
Yeah.
So yeah, like this is probably my favorite class so far that we've talked about for this book, because
Yeah.
these little just look at these little fuckers. Like, I'm standing on top of a tempest of petals. I am now channeling the wind. You will now fear my wrath. And then you just summon like a giant storm of fucking petals that cut the shit out of someone. And you still get access to the bonus attack, which lets you go up to 4d6 of damage on a bonus action. You've used your normal attack, and now you can deal that. Like, again, 4d6 is like up to not a whole lot at level 17 and up, but the fact that you don't have to waste any action, you can just use your bonus action on it, that's great DPS action economy. So
My
I love it.
question is, though,
Mhm.
would there be like a limited supply of like you have to get the petals from somewhere, or do they like just naturally like
So
just
It's
appear, like,
any it's any petals around you. It's basically you've been permeated with the spirit and are now able to control a fraction of the magic that manifests as flower petals.
Well, actually,
okay.
you're both right and you're both wrong. So basically,
Eh?
According to this, it's summarized in the petal dance ability. The cloud lasts for 1 hour, and to make it happen, you have to expand the use of wild shape. So instead of wild shape, you summon the petals, and with the petals, you're allowed to do all of that. Now, an hour is actually quite a long time for expending 1 use of wild shape. And so that's not a bad trade-off. And the fact is that because you can do so much with the cloud, and I don't see any reason how. All right, so here it is. Yeah, and the thing is, it does, and like, unless you use the wisdom modifier, like the one that makes the cloud petal go away, that last little ability under petal dance, I'm not seeing anything that would say that that it would go away early, except maybe if the beast died. But that was just going to happen, like, obviously. Because, yeah, it says the spirit is reduced to 0 hit points. It explodes a stunning spectacular of cascading petals. Until the end of your next phase, all creatures within 20-foot radius centered on the spirit are affected by the... Okay, so when they die, they explode and then give fairy fire to everyone in a 20-foot radius. That's... that gives advantage on hits.
Yeah, this is genuinely amazing. And yeah, Neffy and Neko, when this is all done, I want to talk to you guys about something. And Garson too.
Okay. We got time for one more class, and then I think that because we've been going for almost 4 hours, which is about 2 episodes. Actually,
Yeah.
no, we're gonna end at like 4 hours if that's okay. Jin, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm more than fine.
Okay, because the next one, I think it's really cool, and I want everyone's opinions on this one. This is the Spirit Fused. This is the fighter subclass. And what they do is that they essentially imbue everyday objects with magical properties to beat shit up. Like, if you look at the artwork...
So,
yeah.
so like in the artwork that I'm seeing here, it's basically the main the destruction, the path of destruction thing from Honkai Star Rail.
Kind of, actually.
With the baseball bat.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, that's a good example of it. But it doesn't have to be a baseball bat. It can be like some golf. Yeah, it's like yeah, like
someone in the face with a fucking golf club.
You can, because the golf clubs can be imbued with the energy. It's kind of like Rexplode from Invincible, actually, because he can imbue stuff with kinetic energy. That's kind of what this class does. But the difference is that unlike Rex, you don't blow shit up with it. You just beat them up. You just beat them with a... Yeah, you just beat them with an enchanted bat, which is kind of cool because basically anything you pick up, anything you pick up is now a weapon, in more ways than one. Oh. Okay, gonna move buttons back. So, there we go. Welcome back. So, and here's the other thing: as a spirit fused, your body is basically merged in with a spirit. So they now exist connected to each other inside the fighter itself, and you actually get a quirk with that as well. Not the quirk from like freaking My Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia. Yeah.
But here's what happens. So you choose one or more of the arcane quirks listed below. When activating any of the features from the subclass, first stage technology begins to act haywire. Whenever you make a weapon attack, a radio or cassette player on your person plays a snippet of a song. Whenever you take... Yeah, exactly. Whenever you take damage, you cough bubbles. Spirits find your odor to be increasingly off-putting. Spirits find your odor to be incredibly attractive. Whenever you are unconscious, your body floats 1 foot off the ground and can be carried by the wind. And when you land a critical hit on a creature, your head randomly transforms into a strange visage, such as an anthropomorphic pig head, a crimson-skinned version of yourself with flaming locks, the face of an origami, or a CRT TV. Oh my god, this is just fucking Silent. This is Silent's Toon Force right here.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is Silent.
Because the way I view this is that if you land a critical hit with the bat, I can already imagine he takes on the form of Scout from TF2. Get ready, Chuckle Fox, here we go! Smash you with the bat. Bonk! Oh my god, I like this. And it's not like any of these are bad. Actually, I kind of like the fact that when you make a melee attack, a radio or cassette player on your person plays a snippet of a song. So you could be like, every time you hit someone, you go, whenever I hit someone with my bat, my player plays Kung Fu Fighting. Everybody was Kung Fu.
Or it could be like or it could be like an audio snippet of like a random noise, like a fucking a rubber, like those fucking dodgeballs.
I do know of dodgeballs, yes.
No, like the sound that a dodgeball would make when hitting like the floor or something, like a ting. I can't really describe it.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like that cartoony ting sound.
Yeah, that. Or like a metal pipe.
But no, I like this. I would probably take the when you land a critical hit, your head transforms into like a car. So basically, if you look at anime, this is like what happens in like a lot of animes where something random will happen, but they don't really explain why because it's meant to emphasize the event. This is kind of like it. This is the anime class. And going on forward, it actually has a lot of utility abilities too. Channel Essence.
Mhm.
Starting at 3rd level, you gain the ability to channel spirit energy into your attacks. Okay. You have a pool of 4 d6s that you spend to fuel this ability, which are called Essence Dice. When you make a melee attack against a creature, you can expend a die from your pool and add it to the roll. Alternatively, you can expend a die from your pool to add it to the attack damage roll. You can choose to do this either before or after making the attack roll, but before any effects of the attack are applied. And you regain all of them when you finish a short or long rest. And you gain an additional one at level 7, level 10, level 15, and level 18. Okay, so, Chitter, I gotta ask your opinion on this. Do you think we could, in theory, expend multiple die at once with this ability, or can we only do it one at a time?
See, that's the thing. Is that it's really fucking difficult to tell. Except, I would argue that it's only one. And that's because it says you can expend a die. For example, I'm actually going to pull up a feat that basically how do I say this? It's from a different book, but it kind of follows that same thought process. And it's called Vital Sacrifice. This is from the Tal'Dorei campaign book. So you learn secrets of Hemocraft, yada yada yada. As a bonus action, you can choose to expend 1d6 necrotic damage to gain a blood boon. Your blood boon lasts for 1 hour until expended. You can expend this blood boon to gain one of the following benefits. And then da 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 da, you choose one of the effects. However, there is no limit to the blood boons, and you can expend them all at once. But that is because it doesn't make a mention to the amount. In Channel Essence, it is making a reference to the amount. You can expend a die. It is not saying you can expend die from your pool. Whereas with Vital Sacrifice, it is saying you can expend this blood boon to gain one of the following benefits, but there's no limit on them, so you're expending each one. This one makes a reference specifically to a die from a specific pool. Does that make sense?
It does, though. I
Yes.
think that's probably a good balancing mechanic, because let's be fair here. If you could if you were like at level 3 and you could expend 4 d6s of damage in one hit after you hit him with the yeah, that thing's going
a while.
yeah, on a crit, that dude's going flying. So I think I guess that's good. It's limited. And then I will say this, but I am a little sad that you couldn't expand more die at once. That probably would have been too game breaking. Let's go on to object channeling.
I mean, with like 18th level, 8d6, if you critted that at once, that'd be 16d6. I'm sorry, you can't do that.
Jesus.
Beginning at 3rd level, so object channeling. So also at level 3, so this is the same time you get channel essence. You get to learn one channeling option of your choice, which we'll go into real quick, and you gain an object of your choice that can be used to channel the option through. You can use this feature, but you can't do it again until you finish a short or long rest. So here's the channeling options. Okay, these are like the artificers building shit, and I'm gonna read these because I think this is funny. Channeling option are presented in alphabetical order. Number 1, ballooning bag. As a bonus action, you can cause a bag, such as a canvas sack, backpack, or fanny pack that you are holding and is on your person, to rapidly inflate with air. The bag then floats upward, lifting you off the ground and carrying you up to 30 feet straight in the air. You hover in place until you let go of the bag, or until you start your next round, at which point the bag gently floats back to the ground. So, alternatively, when falling, you can use your reaction to cause the bag to inflate, granting you the benefits of feather fall. Basically, it's
Mary Poppins.
No, the
Ooh, Mary Poppins?
Yeah, Mary Poppins, or I was gonna say the Fortnite balloons.
Oh,
I'd rather go with Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
All right. So next up, entangling cord. When taking the attack action, you can choose to replace one of your attacks with an entangling strike. Basically, you can make the power cord jump out and strangle someone, preventing them from moving. And So yeah, it has to be. Oh, such examples are a tape measure, game controller, extension cord, rope, or chain. If you do so, the object springs to life, stretching out towards the creature you see within 15 feet and makes a ranged attack using your Constitution modifier. If they're hit, they are pulled the 15 feet towards you. So you can pull. So you can basically like Scorpion pull them over to you using a Nintendo 64 controller.
Get over here!
You are going to play video games with me.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are going to be my Luigi. There is no option here. Next, you get Find the Thing. You can focus your energy through a navigational object such as a compass, GPS, or map. Doing so allows you to cast the Locate Object spell with the following changes. It doesn't require you to concentrate on it. It lasts for 1 hour and can detect an object within 1 mile of you instead of 1,000 feet. Okay, that's... I don't know if that's busted or if that's needs to be or if that's like a waste of a resource. I'm on the fence about it.
Okay, let me just put it to you this way. 1,000 feet is 0.2 of a mile.
Gotta put it in the freedom units.
Yep.
You basically get 5 times the range for an hour.
You're tasked with fighting the Goody Mott. Alright, hang on a second. Pulls out the GPS. Your destination to the underworld is over here. Okay! Wait, what? No. But, okay, so yeah, that one's pretty good, actually. Find Things is okay. I like Locate Object.
Yeah. Locate Object, is just like, you locate it, you sense the object's location. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its motion, which is basically just a one-time thing of, oh, I know roughly where it is. This one is, for an hour, you know where it is, you don't have to concentrate, and you know where it is within a mile.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright. So yeah, I like that one. And besides, it's like these are free actions because you get to like just channel an energy into one of your abilities. You only can you have to finish a short rest to get another one, but that's okay. I don't think that's a bad trade-off. Well, it's any kind of rest, but short rest is probably the more common. This is the one that I love the most. Okay, can I read this one, Chitter? I have to.
Go right ahead.
Okay, so this is called First Age Steed. You enact a ritual that creates a bond with a special vehicle of your choice. The vehicle can only carry one creature and has a walking speed of 60 feet and does not have a flying speed. As an action, you can summon the vehicle to your side. When summoned, the vehicle is indestructible and disappears in a puff of smoke after 1 hour. Here are some of the options that they give you. You can summon a bicycle, a car, a plane, or a moped. Now, granted, the plane won't fly, but you get the gist of it. So, in theory, I can summon my Ghost Rider moped to come to my side. Now, return to me, my moped. Ding, 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 ding. All right. And I said this, and I said this. Fucking said this in the.
Why do I imagine that you named the moped Neffy?
No, I wouldn't name it that. I would name it Fooly Cooly because that's essentially what this is. This is the Fooly Cooly class where you can summon the moped out of nowhere, channel your energy into a Rickenbacker base to beat the shit out of someone, and depending on what you also multi-class into, you could also get a shotgun to shoot someone with. Well, there are no firearms on this map, but the fact is that this is a fun class. It may not be the most powerful, but it's fun. I love it because it's so silly and stupid and fun.
The thing is with this class, the thing that I'm kind of getting from it is that you're already a fighter. It doesn't need much more than action surge and multi-attack. It doesn't need much more than that in terms of like direct combat ability. The rest of it is just flavor.
And a lot of good flavor too. I don't see any reason why this isn't like a. I would play this. Like I don't normally play fighters, but I would 100% play this, and I would definitely play it like the main character from Fooly Cooly, where I'm on a moped. I have my weapon of choice is a bass guitar, and if I hit someone, I'm going to do that look where I look like I have razor teeth and I'm about ready to eat you, like Ryuji from Persona 5. Because this is a cartoon class. This is a cartoon class that's played for straight, and I love it. And then the last couple ones are, and we actually have a couple more. Goggled vision when wearing an ocular covering, glasses, goggles, sunglasses, or a welding mask for some reason. You could use an action to see in dim light. Okay, 60 feet, as if it were bright light. And in darkness, it's as if you were wearing dim light. And you have advantage on intelligence investigation checks. Nice. Okay. If something is an illusion. All right, whatever. That's fine. Leaping sneakers. You while wearing a pair of shoes, you can use a bonus action to add a spring to your step. For 1 hour, you gain the benefits of the jump spell.
I'm sorry, the chump?
The jump spell.
Oh, jump. I thought you said chump. I was like,
No. Pocket voice. You spend 1 minute enacting a ritual that binds your voice to an object you can see that looks as if it would produce a sound, such as a boombox, a pair of headphones, statue with a mouth, portrait of a person, radio or jewelry box. Your voice stays.
You can use that to fuck with people.
Exactly. Your
Oh
voice stays
my-
bound to the
oh my
object, and
God.
you can talk through it. So that's pretty cool. And the last ability is water jettison. As a bonus action, spray misty steam of water from a container of your person, such as a water skin, soda can, squirt water bottle, or spray bottle. Doing so moves you 10 feet backwards in a straight line and grants you the benefits of the disengage action. Why is it the more I read this, the more I'm just imagining Chuckles from Legends of Avernus being this class?
Yeah.
Oh, Torback, don't worry.
Chuckles
Why'd you
dances.
smell my flower? Wait, psst, Chuckles, I'm starting to think you're an evil clown. And why'd you spray me with water? So I could get away and hit you with my magic moped. Anyway, so after all of that, those are just, and that was just the object channeling options. Those are like the invocations. I love all of them. You only can use one of them every short rest or long rest, but I think they're all really useful. I like them a lot. Granted, I probably would still summon the moped more times than not, but that's just because I like to be consistent. What do you want me to say?
That's
like
fair.
Dante from Devil May Cry using a fucking moped as a weapon.
Exactly. And then we get into the class's main ability, Spirit Battery. Okay, so to explain this one, I have to explain the Jolt cantrip. So, as we said before, this is why we're talking about the classes, because when we talked about the technology, we said that if it was functional, it needed either a Spirit or the Jolt spell to activate. So, depending on how much of these good, how many of these good vending machines are around, this could be really good or it can be so-so. But on Jolt, a jolt of electricity springs from your hand towards a creature you can see within range. Make a ranged spell attack, so basically static shock them. And they take 1d8 of lightning damage as a cantrip. That's pretty good. Bards, sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards can learn this. And alternatively, you can target a machine within range and temporarily turn it on, allowing it to function as if it were whelmed by a spirit or permanently enchanted. Machines targeted by this spell stay power for 18 seconds before turning off. For a machine to function using the spell, it must still be in working condition. And when you hit 5th, so already at 5th level, you're going to get it at 2d8, which is great. You can turn on machines with it. There's a lot of gameplay mechanics that you can use that with, triggering traps, activating old technology. It's really kind of nice. I like that. And then on top of that, when I'm targeting a machine with this spell, the machine is powered for an hour. So you don't even have to worry about that 18 seconds thing. You can just turn something on just by using the spell as a cantrip, which is fantastic. And this one, however, also changes the modifier to Constitution, which is better for a fighter than using Intelligence, which is probably a spell that not a lot of fighters would use because, let's face it, they don't really think that much. And
Fair enough.
Yeah, and additionally,
Mhm.
and so basically that's a lot of benefit because the Jolt spell becomes a really good fighting ability. It's a ranged attack. Fighters don't usually get access to ranged attacks unless they're like the bow type of fighter. They don't really have access to spells. This is a cantrip. It doesn't burn spell slots. It's electrical damage, which is pretty good, and it has utility outside of combat. So I think that's really good. This can literally turn on a Nintendo Entertainment System or a TV, and then you get an hour of TV magic.
I get to play Super Mario for an hour. Fuck you.
So I like that ability because basically you need that Jolt ability to kind of like compensate for like everything else. But I like the fact that it treats it as it's like, at the end of the day, what are you really getting? You're getting the Jolt cantrip, but you're getting a more advanced version of a cantrip. For a class that typically does not have a lot of options outside of running up and hitting them with a spell, this is pretty good to be able to deal like some electrical damage. I like that. And like I said, it has in the world of OboJima, this has alternative uses. You can use it to power up a vending machine and maybe get a health potion out of it, or maybe the DM really likes to, or maybe once again, you can use the electrical power to go into the goodie mart and find the back alley room where you can go down into the subway and then fight the Gorn. Because as we all know, the goodie mart is like the portal to hell, apparently. Oh my god, why is that there? What is it with that stupid freaking 7-Eleven in the middle of nowhere that survived hell itself to be a portal to hell?
That's a good question.
I can't explain it. No, I
No
don't
one
think I
knows.
should explain it. Anyway, moving back onward.
Yeah, it's almost like reading. It's a slight difficulty for you.
Will you shut up? Shut up about the reading. At so
We are wrapping up though.
yeah, we're about done. We're gonna finish this class up, and then that'll be it for this episode, because we got a lot more to talk about. Because this book's like over 300 pages. We were not gonna finish it in one episode. This might be another
Oh,
5.
no.
No. But
Jesus.
okay, I'll wrap this up real quick by reading over the last abilities. Improved object channeling. This basically lets you do an additional.
You okay?
Yeah, what was that? Yeah, well, I didn't want to interrupt that. I thought you were probably having a momentary fit, and I didn't want to be rude. Anyway, as I was saying, at 7th level, you learn an additional channeling option, so you can then learn an additional one of these, and then you can use object channeling, feature a number of times, equal to your proficiency bonus. Already, that's great. I love it. Improvised armor. You learn to channel your energy to objects you are wearing, because they become harder than steel for a brief moment. So you can then make your armor a lot better. And basically, according to this, you use your reaction to roll one of your essence dice. And I think around this level, at level 10, you should have access to 6 of them. So, yeah, you get access to... Oh, wait. How many of these do you get? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You roll 1, but that's still a D6 to your AC. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, like at max, that's like at max 6 points to your AC. That could definitely make you survive a really powerful attack. So that, and as a reaction, that's fantastic. Backup battery. You let to draw on the spirit energy within you to gain a quick rush of energy. You gain additional use of your second wind feature, and when your HP drops below your fighter level, when you have use of second wind, you can choose to use it. You can choose to expend a use of second wind immediately, no action required. Okay, that's great for a fighter to have like 2 second winds on demand, and the minute you drop below your level, which would be at level 15, it immediately activates without needing an action. That's great. So even if you do get punctured the damage from the last ability, oh, you're cooking. You're cooking well, and you're going to heal yourself.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
All right, so, and the final capstone ability for the Spirit Fused is the Junk Master. Starting at level 18, you gain an additional channeling option for your... So you get another one of these channeling options. In addition, when you roll initiative and you have no uses of your object channeling feature left, you regain 2 uses of the feature. So, I use them... So let's see. First stage steed, I take as my first one. Then I use it to get to the place faster. I can then use the... I then have... Let's see. Thanks to improved object channeling, I should have it up to my proficiency bonus, which I think around level 18 should be plus 5. If I'm reading that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically I can use 3 of these things at least 5 times every short rest. That's fantastic. Okay. Yeah, no, this is a great class. I love it. Not as powerful as Circle of the Petal, but definitely really good. I think that's probably I know we're kind of skimming through the fighter, but fighters don't really need a whole lot of explanation. They're like,
Yeah.
they're just like, I have a sword. That's it. I really don't know how else to describe it. Anyway, long story short, okay, yeah, we're at the stopping point of this recording because we wanted to get a little farther ahead in this book, since next week I don't think. So next week we're gonna interrupt stuff. But if you're watching this on YouTube, don't worry. The YouTube episodes are still gonna go up at the same time. Which, yeah, so they're really, but this is the second episode. Wow, I don't even know why I'm telling any of this. This is at the end of the episode. I don't know what. Take care. Yeah. Okay, I don't even know why I'm explaining this. Okay, long story short, I'm just gonna cut this section out. Anyway. So anyway, that's the end of this session of Forgotten Table Tales. I had a blast with OboJima right now, and I'm gonna be honest, we're probably gonna be talking more about this next week because we still got subclasses to go through, the potion brewing mechanic to go through, and this time around we actually do want, and we still have the enemies and even the magic items. There's so much to talk about, and this book is almost 400 pages. So wow. I mean, I'm glad we're not going to be spending like 5 episodes on subclasses, but we will have a lot to talk about regardless. Okay.
Oh, I already know which one of the enemies is gonna be my favorite.
Well,
Oh,
we're gonna finish the. So next week we're gonna finish the subclasses. We're gonna go into our next topic.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, so this has been fun. I am physically exhausted for a number of reasons, so we're gonna end it here and say thank you so much for joining us for our first look into OboJima. It was our second look into OboJima. This has been a fantastic book so far. I'm loving every moment of it. I can't wait to talk more about it, and hopefully next week we can talk more about the mechanics of some of the other classes, go into depth of some of the more interesting mechanics that they have for the setting itself, like the potion stuff, the different types of ingredients, what they can do. That's probably gonna be a whole episode of itself. But yeah, anyway, we'll be back here next week once again. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate and care about you. And once again, I want to give a special shout out to our players, Neffy, Mantis, Neko, and Bun Bun, who were here.
Thanks for having us.
And you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
You're always welcome to come back because we will be talking about this some more. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And of course, a special thanks to my co-DM Chitter, who is always with me on this podcast. So I know I'll always have someone to bounce stupid ideas off of because that's just the way I roll.
And also tell him to read the pages.
Yeah, shut up. Anyway, that's it for me.
I'm never getting bounced, so I can say shit like that.
You're lucky I can't fire you. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you all so much for your time. I appreciate it. Take care and have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.